a couple of reasons. It's already past 4. Okay? How many guys are tired? No?
Ready to play good.
One of the things that I saw is that over the course of the last 15 minutes or so, the quality of play went down. Because I know you're tired. You look at these coaches that are out here. I'll be honest, as a high school coach and or college coaches, guys, we would never put our players through this much contact this early. You guys have done a tremendous job with that. Every single one of you is tough as nails in my book. Obviously at different stages of the game, but you're all very good football players. Look at how far you have come since Sunday. So I wanted to pull us off a little early, put us in the shade, give you a rest. Before the day campers get out of here, I also want to tell you a story. You'll find that if you're in this game long enough, football coaches have all kinds of stories. Coach Guarini talks about the pro guys. I know that Coach Bond talks about college and pros and things like that. That's not what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about one day, long before you were born. That day was November 13th, 1985. I was a senior in high school. I was as pretty then as I am today. Guys, I was 5'7", 212 pounds, and some of this, not all of it, but some of this was up a little higher. I was a little stronger, a little faster. I had long hair. I had hair down the middle of my back.
Hello.
It was the age.
Nightmare.
So guys, what I want to talk to you about that day was a Friday night, and I was playing for a team called Altus High School in Altus, Oklahoma. And unlike the guys who, you know, have talked to you mostly this week, the pros and the college guys, I never played college football. Nobody wanted a 5'7", 212-pound guard. I didn't start until my senior year. I didn't make the varsity until I was a junior. And going into my senior year, there was an opening in front of me. The guy who was in front of me, who was a much better player than I was, graduated. And I went to my offensive line coach just before the summer, going into my senior year, and I said, Coach, I'm going to take that spot. And he just laughed. An old man named Jeep Johnson. Just laughed. He goes, son, you're never going to take that spot. You're 5'7". I said, yes, Coach, I understand that. He said, well, you got one shot. You play every play as though it is your last play. Because if you don't, it will be. And you'll never play another down for me again. I worked very hard that summer. And when training camp came around, I played every play, even in practice, as though it was the last play I was ever going to play. And when we broke camp, I was the starting right guard. I played for a high school in Oklahoma, what's called 5A Oklahoma, which is the big school. It's good football played out there. If you've ever seen the movie Friday Night Lights, it's a lot like that. Very good football played out there. I was the shortest guy on the offensive line by 6 inches. I was tiny. It looked funny when we took pictures. I played every play as though it was my last. November 13th, 1985, it was. We weren't a very good team. We struggled against some very good competition. And in the end, we were 5-5, played a 10-game season, 4-5 going into that last game, and I remember putting on that uniform. We were at a big school called Oklahoma City John Marshall. Big school, much bigger than us. We weren't expected to win. We put 48 points up on them that night. And won 48-28. And with about 5 minutes left to go, they took me out of the game. And I knew it was the end. Obviously, it still brings back a lot of emotion. And as I watched that clock tick down, I wept. Because I knew it was over. I sat for half hour, 45 minutes, close to an hour in the locker room. I wouldn't take my uniform off. Because I knew it was done. I have no regrets. And the reason I tell you this story is because if you will play every play as though it is your last, someday it will be. Hopefully that day is a long time from now. You have a great NFL career, and you can come back and you can sign autographs in an OD camp, and Coach Flo will still be sitting there coaching the pups. But regardless of whether your career ends 20 years from now or 20 hours from now, if you play every single play as though it is your last, and you can walk away from it and know that you gave everything that you had. I am very fortunate, very blessed. This game has been good to me. You look around here at this stadium, you talk to your coaches back home, you look at the high school and college guys, it is really a brotherhood and a fraternity. And I carry the memory of that cold day in November. And I remember finally taking off that uniform. And it's here. Guys, football isn't played with hands. It isn't played with feet. Most of the time, it isn't really even played with a head. It's played with heart. God bless all those other sports. But this is the only sport that I know that will let a 5'7", 212-pound guard play with this. Thank you very much for allowing me to coach you this week.